How's it going, everyone? My name is Eric Lima. For those of you who don't know me, I do the People's Lima Show on YouTube. If you want to check me out, you can. This is a very another somber day in my life. I lost a good friend, a brother in Christ. I go to church with every Sunday. He passed away this morning in his battle with cancer, and he passed away this morning, which his name is Marc Suprenant. He was one of the greatest people one of the greatest friends I ever known. He's been a friend of my family for years, many years, dating back in the 80s, 86, 87 probably. And he was one of the funniest people I ever met. It has been a very we've been praying for him and praying for him. We've been praying for him. But it was the Lord felt like it was his time. Am I angry? I'm a little bit upset, but at least he's in a better place. Doesn't worry about suffering anymore. He's in a place where there's no more suffering. No suffering at all. No weeping, but we miss him in the physical. But he'll always be with us inside our hearts, and inside our prayers and thoughts. And I want to tell a couple of stories about him that really stuck in my mind. It was I remember my dad was still single at the time, around 87 actually, a little around 87, towards the end of summer, start of winter, start of fall. And I was at the, I used to live about, and then back then I didn't live up as far as from Butler Park. It was pretty much farther away. And I remember Mark, Donald, Chris, the Wombo brothers, and possibly Matt. I'm not so sure. They were all goofing off at the house, and my dad was on his first date with my soon-to-be mother at the time. And they were dating. My dad was, getting out of just finished finalizing a divorce, and now he's moved on. And I totally remember they drove up to the house, and I remember my dad was about to take my mother home back to her house. She was living in an apartment at the time. And I remember, Mark, Matt, Chris, and Donald ran all the way up the stairs into my father's room and decided to open up a window and looked outside. So me and my 10-year-old idiotic mind, I don't want to say idiotic, but I was a goofy 10-year-old back then. What do you expect, right? And I remember just looking around. I think I was playing ColecoVision. I don't know what the heck I was doing at the time. I was doing what normal 10-year-old boys and goof off in my room, probably listening to music or something like that. So anyways, I see them all sprinting up the stairs. So like the Four Stooges. Well, it's just weird. Anyways, so I look inside and I said, "What are you guys doing?" And Marc Suprenant says, "Shh, we're looking for squirrels." So I said, "You mind if I look with you?" By all means. Okay. So in my 10-year-old gullible mind, I decided to look with them. Looking around, going, "Hey, I see no squirrels." And my father heard my big mouth, looked up and said, "Eric, what are you doing in my room?" "We're looking for squirrels." That was it. We were just looking for squirrels. Obviously now I know what they were really up to. But back then I didn't know. I did not know what they were looking for. And that was one funny story from Mark that I'll always remember, because he was the one that said, "We're looking for squirrels." And another one, I was over at a friend's house, the Gagnons, who were good friends with my mom. So we decided to pay them a visit, and it was a nice spring day. And I was in the transitional phase between ColecoVision and Nintendo. I've always been a big video game freak. So they had the Atari set up and all. So I was like, oh, I think it was Atari 2600, 5200. I forget which system they had set up. So, anyways, everybody's outside, having cookouts and all that. So I decided, well, while I'm waiting for my food, I'll play some video games. I don't want to get into any trouble. Blah, 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 playing Miss Pac-Man. Marc Suprenant comes in here. Eric, you gotta go outside. I'm like, I don't want to. I want to stay in here. Come on, Eric, go outside. I said, okay, I'll go outside. I go outside, but then when the time was right, when he was not looking, I zoomed right back in and played Atari again. Marc Suprenant comes back in. Eric, don't make me beat you up now. I go, okay, fine. I go back outside, and I said, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with him. I'm gonna get him to chase me and beat me up. Just play fighting. He likes to wrestle me. I was his wrestling buddy, in other words. So, went back in. Went back in, sat down, played little Pac-Man. He starts chasing me around. He started chasing me around the house. I tried to go zoop up. I tried to hide from him, zoop that way. And it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny, and I always will. Those two stories I'll remember him by. And it has not been, like I said, it's not been very easy, but it's very, very crushing news to us. He was one of a kind. He was a funny guy. He cared. He's very passionate, very friendly, and he was a wonderful, wonderful guy. And to me, I will miss him because he brought a lot of humor. When got involved in our music ministry, he, in our music band in my church, he brought a lot of humor and everything else, and he was one guy that I'm going to miss. Lori, Amanda, and Sarah, if you're watching this video, I want to let you know that your dad was an awesome man. Was an awesome man, and he loved everybody. He loved us all, and I know my mom's been close with him, and I'll tell you, we're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss him, but we know where he is now. No pain, no suffering. I think the only good thing about death is that where they're going, the body may be, on earth and buried beneath 6 feet of dirt, but if you believe in heaven, and hell, you know where they're going, if they believe in the right source. In this case, Mark believed in the Lord. He believed in God, and he's up in heaven right now. God's got a few things for him to do up there. Mark, we want to know, we miss you, buddy. We love you. We always will remember you. We'll never forget you. We will never, ever, we'll never, ever forget you, man. As long as we live. And one day we will see you. And, we did all we could. What we wanted to do is stand. I kept on praying for you this morning. I didn't know this was the end result. It has been very, very, I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, and just want to thank you, Mark, for all for the friend that you have been to me, and we miss you, man. I'll never forget the fun times that we had, man. I'll never forget them as long as I live. Thank you, Mark. Rest in peace. And hopefully you're in heaven right now talking to the Lord about what to do.